25-26 season featuring volleyball, soccer, and field hockey. Scan the QR code you see on your screen. You can also go to Big10Plus.com.
No.
Make sure you enter Month on Us 25 when selecting a monthly pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. If you have Big 10 Plus, you can see more than 200 volleyball matches streamed this year here on the linear network.
Wow.
We'll have all 18 schools represented, some 63 matches. You see some of the notable matches, including the First Serve Showcase doubleheader to kick things off. Penn State and Minnesota featured in that one. We have a triple header on Halloween evening. Pretty amazing. You look through this list of games and you will see not just some of the Big Ten's best, but some of the nation's best as well. Pretty interesting matchup for Maryland on October the 12th when Wisconsin comes to College Park. Should be a pretty good crowd that night. Well, Maryland set a program attendance record in the November 30th match last year against Nebraska. More than 13,000 showed up to watch the Terps inside College Park. It's a trend that we are seeing throughout the Big Ten and throughout all of college volleyball. And for more on that and all Maryland volleyball, welcome in headman Adam Hughes. Adam, great to see you. Hard to believe starting year number 8. This is a grizzled veteran now sitting across from us.
And I'm kicking things off. I feel like I am the vet now. This has been great.
Did you draw the short straw? How did you end up being first with us here today?
I have no idea, but I'm excited to get it started.
All right, Adam, I know after finishing 500 or better in the previous 3 seasons, last year wasn't exactly what you and the team envisioned. So how do you evaluate what 2024 was and use it as motivation and improvement for 2025?
Yeah, I think the best way I would put it is we didn't have a good season, but we have a good program. And the best programs, the best competitors are resilient, find ways to bounce back, and we've always done that. And I'm really proud of the staff and the program. I thought we hit the ground running in December, made some key transitions and brought in some important pieces in the transfer portal. Had a really good spring, and we're very, very excited to get this season started.
Let's start with your approach to the portal. You had 4 transfers, 3 from high major programs. What was the approach and the philosophy when you went into that aspect of recruiting?
Yeah, with this day and age, we feel like we can be very strategic about what we need. We got a really good core coming back, and I think the staff did a really good job of identifying, hey, these are the pieces that we can make big contributions. And so we've been a defensive-minded team for a while. We're trying to change gears here, become a little bit more offensive-minded, especially with the way the conference is playing itself out. And, we brought in good players, but we also brought in really great people, and very, very excited for this group.
I know one person who fits those descriptions for you, AJ Malwal, who we'll meet just in a little bit when she talks with Elena and Holly. For those who didn't see her skill set at a previous stop, what is it?
Man, we had a great opposite last year, lefty opposite in Samantha Shida. And, I think AJ's got some big shoes to fill, but she has the capabilities of doing that. And she's got lead skills. She's really done a good job of acclimating to the program and also letting her voice kind of take its own vibe. And I think the team's really kind of rallied around her. But she's just a warm, great personality to be around, and happy she's in our program.
An Italian, and I understand she's been speaking Italian for much of the summer. Got to make that transition back to speaking English, because I'm guessing that there's not a lot of others on your team that speak Italian very well.
Nobody, no. We have a Turkish player, so maybe I have a chance at some bilingual, but no chance.
Eva Rohrbach also here with you. How have you seen her progress throughout her career? How does she take the next step in 25?
Yeah, I think that's the best model. We've got some transfers. We have some core people coming back who've been big leaders for us, and Eva has been that. She's been a starter consistently since she got here on campus. She came here because we have a good program, but she wants to get this program to be great, and she has that potential in her. And she's also been a good leader for us, a good vocal presence in our locker room, and I'm hoping she can have a great season for us.
You mentioned the departure of Sam Schnitt. You also lost a pair of Sams last year who were really impactful, and both of your starting setters. So how did you address kind of those needs, and how does it change at all the philosophy of how you envision this team playing?
We had a setter of the future who redshirted last year for us, Emily Wagner. So it was nice to have someone behind the scenes who kind of got to see how the offense was running, how the program was evolving. I think, again, back to the staff, we did a really good job of kind of reinstalling, kind of relooking at a few things. We wanted to keep the spring to be a little bit fresh and get a fresh start, and the transfers have been allowing us to do that. It's been a good opportunity to reflect a little bit, but at the same time, we haven't lost the core of who we are, and I think Eva is a good example of that.
What's it been like as a head coach in this league and as a head coach in women's college volleyball right now, in comparison to maybe when you started, to see where this sport is, especially in the past 3 years, the massive rise in popularity, television viewership, put now in slots in between and after NFL games, things that I don't think any of us envisioned possible even 5 years ago.
I mean, I started at Maryland when we transitioned from the ACC to the Big Ten. And at that time, a couple previous administrations ago, they weren't going to let us sell tickets for volleyball games. They didn't know what the crowds would look like. And then to see us have 13,000 people, I think it says a lot about our program, but I think it says a lot about Big Ten as a whole and where college volleyball is heading.
And the Big Ten obviously changed drastically a year ago. Now that you have a year to look back on it, how do you think the additions of the 4 West Coast schools impacted not just the Big Ten, but the sport as a whole?
I think we circled it as an opportunity to see kind of where they're going to stack up and how we fit in that mix. I thought we competed pretty well when we went out west. It was a little bit new for us. It almost felt like a non-conference matchup just because we hadn't done it before. But I liked how the team competed in the back half of our second half of the conference and got a good win against UCLA at home. So I thought that was important for us just to let us know that, hey, we belong here and we can hang.
And looking at the schedule for this year, you have those 2 LA schools on the road. You also play at Nebraska, at Penn State. Those are great environments. Those are great opportunities. How do you look at matches like those as opportunities, not get overwhelmed by the environment when you know it's not just the environment, it's also the team standing on the other side of the net?
No doubt. I mean, the goal is a component that's a little bit tricky.
Wow, it looks like Maryland was going to think
the
about
sport is growing,
taking their
the team is
first
taking over some of those decisions, and we're
NCAA
happy
tournament
with that.
appearance since
I think
2005.
for
I
us,
hope
the
they
big thing
do.
is being mindful. We're trying to be a little bit better at realizing we have to stay fresh. And those long trips, we go to Iowa and Nebraska, you're gone from Thursday to Sunday. You got to make sure you're taking care of your athletes. So that's a big focus for us because we want to compete. We want to get some road wins.
Well, you're getting some practice already, right? The travel here wasn't exactly seamless, so you're just getting the season started, getting practice.
Just getting used to things, yeah. A little bit of a delay, but again, we're just happy to be here.
The arrival after midnight, still looking fresh as a daisy. When you do go to Lincoln this year, it won't be John Cook coaching that team for the first time in your Maryland career as he retires after a legendary career. What do you think John's impact ultimately has been and will be as we look at it down the road in the future?
Yeah, you could go on and talk about what John did for volleyball, and not just for Nebraska, but again for volleyball as a whole. I always respected John for the success he had, obviously the national championships, but anytime we went there, he always checked me as a human. Before the game, he always shook my hand and always wanted to know how I was doing, how the kids were doing, and to me, that just speaks volumes about who he is.
Summer always seems to go fast for those of us who don't work as much during the summer, but I imagine the next month for volleyball coaches goes insanely quickly. So what's the biggest focus as you get ready in between now and the season opener?
Yeah, we usually have a week in between, but with week 0 and the new matchups, we got an extra week of practice, and we got notified that we can do that about 3 weeks ago. So we're adjusting on the fly, literally flying back and starting on Thursday. So not a lot of downtime, but again, just with a fresh group, some transfers, some key vets coming back. I think the staff and the program's just excited to get to work.
What do you hope to accomplish in that period, especially with this extra practice time?
Yeah, I think it gives us time, especially as we've got a fresh group, just making sure we're on the same page. And we want to hit the ground running, play Coastal Carolina and North Carolina out of the gates, teams that have historically been in the NCAA tournament. That remains a goal for us. I look at the conference, and there's different levels. There's the elite groups, there's the championship groups, and there's the great ones that can make tournament runs, and that's what we want to get to. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're hoping to.
Adam, let's finish here. We all ultimately define success by wins and losses. As I mentioned at the top of the show, only one team at the end of the year truly finishes exactly where they want to be, and that's the national champion. For you and this team this year, how do you think you'll ultimately define your success?
Yeah, we want to be in the top half. That's a big thing for us. I think 9 to 12 teams should be in the tournament. I think that's something that the conference should be pushing for. And that's a big thing for us. We're putting the bar high, and we don't want to lower standards. Even though we had a down year last year, like I said, we've got a good program. We want to be a great program.
Adam, as always, we appreciate the time. No surprise, the players that are with Maryland, we already talked about who they are, but now you get to know them a little bit better as we send it over to Elena and Holly.
Thanks so much, Rick.